Hello everyone and welcome to Meeple Leaf Reviews. I'm Jeffrey.
And I'm David.
And today we're going to be doing a before and after, where we take a look at a game before and after our very first play, giving you our initial expectations and then first impressions. Now today we're going to be looking at Mini Rails. This is a game that you picked up, David, so
Absolutely.
Take it away.
Well, first of all, I just want to state that I think this is going to be a game that I'm going to love. And I also believe it's going to be a game where instead of coming back to do our initial impressions, I'm going to just want to play again.
Right.
Because there's everything. I just want to boil this down to why I bought this game. And it's this central market mechanic that they have in there. And I think that it's such a clever thing that they've rolled into the game where it basically takes... You have limited decisions. There's only going to be two...
And simple decisions.
And very simple decisions, yeah. So you have 2 actions every round. There's 6 rounds, so you only get 12 actions in the game. But what's cool about this is the actual decisions you have are going to impact your turn order, and then you have to decide what train company disc you actually want to take, and then what action you're going to do with that train company disc. Are you actually going to put it out on the board to either improve or decrease stock price,
or invest
in that? And what's cool about the investment is your investment always starts at 0, irrespective of what has already occurred within that company. So timing is going to be important. And then, so that's going to involve also a little bit of probability, because we know exactly how many of these train discs are in the bag. It's determined by player number. So you're going to have to make that decision. Do I want to get into this company? Is there still a lot of this company to come out to be played?
Is it still going to grow?
Yeah, and then after that, then you need to, if you're going to build tracks, that's going to involve some deduction. What are these guys doing? Is Jeffrey going to help me? Is he not going to help me? Are we going to have a fleeting alliance here? A very fragile, friendship here for this one round? So I just see there's just a lot of decisions just rolled into 2 actions. And
the impression I got when I first looked at the game was the choices are going to be very simple, but the decisions are going to be very tough. It's like you were mentioning, the putting the disc out and building the track might increase or decrease investment, but you aren't going to score those investments unless one of those discs are left at the end of the round.
Correct.
So you can't just pump all the discs into a company. And that other thing that led me to think was, well, being the last player, oh man, that turn order is going to be very important.
Exactly.
Because you get to make the decision of which company is going to score positive and which one isn't.
And the relative importance of whether or not you want to be taking care of that taxation marker, I believe it's called, or if you want to put discs out, the relative importance of each of these decisions is going to change depending on the gameplay. And this game, for me, is something that I think we'll be able to teach in 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to play in less than an hour.
Oh, I'm thinking like less than 45 minutes for sure. Maybe with you, it might be an hour, hour and a half.
2.5 hours, yeah. It would be more epic. But definitely, it's going to be a game that you can teach in several minutes, play in, let's call it 30 to 45 minutes, and have just some really awesome decisions. And for me, a game like that is always welcome in my collection. And so I have really high expectations for it to be just an awesome, meaty, interactive filler.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Going in, I think I'm really going to enjoy the game. And I think this is one, because you own it, after we play, I'm going to be like, I want this game, because it's going to fit that really cool, thinky filler space in my collection.
Yes, and I also want to say is, normally when it comes down to production quality, I'm neutral. If it doesn't impact gameplay either in a positive or negative way, I could care less.
Right.
However, I've never got a game before from the Moaideas Game Design from Taiwan. These guys, this game popped up, everything was pre-punched in perfect inserts. It was beautiful feeling boards. I'm excited just to feel and put this game on the table. And in a hobby where there's so many barriers to entry, and even just getting a game prepared sometimes could be that barrier, they've done it right. They've decided we're going to put a thinky, strong filler game here that's going to provide a really awesome experience, I'm hoping, and it's ready to go. I had it on the board in 2 minutes, on the table in 2 minutes. So kudos to them. The production on this is fantastic.
All right, that's cool. Well, let's get the game to the table and come back and see what we think of Mini Rails.
Let's do it.
Hello everyone and welcome back. We just finished our first play of Mini Rails. We played it 3-player, and your prediction about the teaching was correct. It was less than 3 minutes.
Woohoo! And even for me, that's a miracle. So 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
Something like that. And then the total play time was 23 minutes for the
Yeah,
game.
I totally overestimated that. I thought it'd be near the hour range, but wow. Yeah, like we're like, wow. And even the last round
The last
of the game,
round was about half of the playtime almost.
and half of that last round was probably me. So,
So yeah, I think you could nail this game out in like 20 minutes once you kind of know what's going. I think the time that it took in that last round was just counting discs.
Yeah.
And figuring out or counting points and seeing where everyone was. So the funny thing about this first play is that it ended in a 3-way tie, or at least we think so. We're not 100% sure on the tiebreakers because we only had one company that scored for each of us at a +2, and then no other companies had any stock. So the tiebreaker is based on your next most valuable stock or the most valuable stock first. So we're not sure.
yeah, so we posted it out to Twitter. We'll see, because the current game state, maybe someone can leave this in a comment, is that after that, several people have some stocks in the 0 value range. And so we're wondering, does the quantity of stocks there actually
Make the tiebreaker.
Make the tiebreak.
So we're looking at either a 3-way tie or a 2-way tie.
Correct, yeah.
So what are your first impressions?
Honestly, I came in, I knowing the before, I was like really jacked about all the probabilistic, calculations and the deduction of who's going to be doing what.
Just equations flying through
yeah,
your
like
mind.
I just thought it'd be a real moment to shine and get my brain burn on in a very quick period of time. Whereas, like as you mentioned earlier, in the final round, I felt it was more just kind of counting discs and saying, okay, I need to go there. And other people saying, well, this guy definitely can't score, so why don't you make sure that disc doesn't get taxed to go in the taxation area. So then you're like, okay. So, and there's no way you can control that, because even by being last player, you had that ability to kick it out, like not... You could kick it out before it got to me for me to make that choice. So I don't know. Like I want to, since it takes 15 minutes. Like I would definitely want to play it again. But I think my expectations so far
we're not met.
We're not. Yeah, maybe they were too high. I came in flying a little too high on this one.
Well, and it might have just been a weird situation with how the game ended or how the discs come out. But definitely simple choices. Yeah. There were a couple tough decisions, but they weren't as tough as what I was expecting.
Agreed. Totally.
I was expecting a lot more difficult, a lot more kind of manipulation, but you can kind of see how things are going to play out based on how many discs are out there. Like the last round, I knew there was only one blue disc left that could come out. I have an investment in blue, and blue is currently not going to score positive. So if I take an action to make that bump up my investment, hey, it's not going to score positive then. So it wasn't like I'm going layers and layers deep trying to figure things out in here.
Well, I also found, frankly speaking, the first company or first two companies that came out after the first round or two in that taxation, I kind of stopped caring about them, to be honest with you, because some of them, you guys were tanking them on me right away. So I was like -5 for yellow, for example, but I knew that it was scoring, so it'd be eliminated anyhow. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, fine, waste your turn doing that. I don't care, because it'll be eliminated off, and you guys tanked it so hard right away that I'm like, getting it back to 0 is going to be a tough thing to do. Yeah. So okay, I didn't really, once it got out there, I kind of felt like I had a fail-safe mechanism to, like, I wasn't going to be negative, and if I got positive, great. Well,
I think that's the interesting part, is based on those companies that are going to score positive, I think that might influence our decisions later in the game, now that we know kind of how the game flows. Because I was tanking your company in yellow, but I knew like yellow was going to score positive, so what was the point in tanking it further than just getting into the negative part?
Right. And then so one point you pointed out was that then maybe I want to reinvest, get another yellow disc, and then it can get the upside of things, midway to the end of the game. But maybe that's something that will change with multiple plays, because in the first play, I kind of stopped caring about those things and started focusing on something else.
So overall, I thought it was an okay experience. Yeah. One that I would play again. I think we're going to play it again right away. Just because of how quick it plays. I don't think it lived up to my expectations either of being like a go-to thinky filler, but maybe that'll change with subsequent plays. Yeah,
I was actually going to say, had this been like one of our usual kind of games like back on here that just took, say, 90 minutes to play through the first time, I'd be very lukewarm about playing it again.
Right.
However, seeing that it's a 20-minute game, let's play it again.
Right.
And so hopefully that'll change my opinion, but given the time that committed that we need to put to it.
All right, cool. That's our first impressions of Mini Rails. If you liked the video, go down and hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we will see you guys next time.
Cheers.